Hey Joyce, are you there? I'm really sorry to drop this news on you all of a sudden, but my sister is going to be staying with us for a while from this weekend. So, if you could help me get things ready for her before she arrives, I would really appreciate that.
Wait a second, you mean that your sister is going to be coming to stay with us this weekend?
Yeah, I actually just heard that this was happening from my mom not that long ago. I guess that Mom and my sister Beth had been talking about this for a while, but my mom never said anything to me about it. But I guess that Beth is pregnant and she wants to have the kid back home. So that's why she's coming back.
I didn't even know that your sister was pregnant. When did that happen? And why are you just finding out about all of this now?
I don't know, but I certainly didn't know that she was pregnant either. In fact, I had to kinda push Mom to give me the whole story. But she just told me that you and I should be grateful to my parents for letting us live with them even though we don't have any sons. So I just really don't know what to do at all. This is a lot to take in all at once.
I had no idea that that's how your mom felt about us living here.
I know, and I just want to say that I'm really sorry for how my family acts sometimes. But anyways, my mom hid this from us well, and now we can't really say no. So, anyways, if you could just please get ready to live with my sister for a few months, I think we'll just have to grit our teeth and bear through.
Yeah, of course. A few months isn't that bad. Besides, you must be pretty excited to get to see your sister after so long, right? Just please let me know if there's anything I can do around the house to make things easier on everyone.
Thank you so much for understanding, Joyce. I knew that you would, but I'm just sorry that my mom is always running the house like this. I just wish that she would have given us even just a little more heads up that this was going to be happening. Did you know that she wasn't even going to tell you? She demanded that I do it. I can't believe that she would really try so hard at hiding something like this from you and I. And then after all that, she can't even tell people this is happening herself.
Well, there's really not much that can be done about that now, right? Besides, I'm pretty sure that your mom just doesn't like me. I mean, I don't even think that we've said a word to each other for the past month or so.
Wait a second. You're telling me that you and my mom haven't talked at all to each other in the past month?
I mean, when you're in the room, we'll maybe exchange just the bare minimum of words. But we never say anything to each other at all when it's just us in the house. In fact, your mom can't even look me in the eye. I'm sure that we basically just end up avoiding each other all day until people come back home.
And this has been going on for at least a month, if not longer? I had no idea that that's how you and my mom interacted.
Well, I just worry that your mom thinks of me as a failure. But I can't blame her. Even just last month, we went to see a doctor about why I can't get pregnant. Although I suppose I should be glad she didn't ask me about how it went.
Oh, come on, don't beat yourself up for that. We're still doing all that we can to try and have children. You have to stay strong and not lose heart. Don't give up, Joyce.
I know, but I also know that your mom is just always waiting for grandchildren. And we've been married 2 years now and still nothing, so I just can't blame your mom for being upset after all this.
Joyce, what are you saying? Don't talk like that. The only people who need to be concerned about you getting pregnant is you and I.
Oliver, do you really mean that?
Of course I do. You shouldn't be letting what my mom has to say on the matter affect how you feel about things. I know that we're both doing our best and even seeking treatment for this issue. So I don't think that my mom has any right to comment on us having kids at all.
Thank you so much for saying that, Oliver. That really does mean a lot to me, you know?
Well, I wanted to ask you how you feel about taking a break on the treatments while my sister is here. I know that they can be rough on you and leave you pretty tired. Maybe we can just take a break on trying for a while? After all, it's probably not to work if we're always stressing your body out.
Actually, now that you say that, the doctor did ask if I wouldn't consider taking a break from the treatment as well. He said that it would help my body settle down and de-stress a little bit for the future. I guess he had a lot of success with patients by trying this method out.
Great, then it's settled. We'll take a break and stop worrying about trying for kids for a while. And I just want you to know that my mom and I are going to handle taking care of my sister, so don't worry about anything. I don't want you having to deal with any undue stress.
Hey, Joyce, what is the matter with you, huh? I am looking through these maternity photos that I asked you to take of me, and they all look like crap. How do you expect me to be able to post any of these to Instagram, huh? I thought you used to have your own photo studio before you married my brother, right? That's the whole reason why I hired you in the first place. But when I had my studio, I also worked with a lot of expensive and specialized equipment to get those photos you saw. I think for what I was working with that the photos actually turned out really well. Whatever. These photos aren't as good as I thought they would be, but what else can I expect from someone as useless as you? I shouldn't have asked a broken woman like you to help me with something like this. Excuse me? And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that you're so useless you can't even take good photos of me, but you probably just can't do it because I'm pregnant and you're not. You're just useless, and I know from my mom that you can't have any kids. So that's why you can't take any good pictures of pregnant women either. I really don't think that one has anything at all to do with the other, and I think you looked great in those photos. So I think you should apologize for your mean comments towards me. I haven't done anything rude to you to merit being talked to like that. Oh, just shut up, you barren old cow. I know that you've been getting treatment for your infertility for the past 2 years. And yet even then you still can't have a child. You're just a broken woman who can't even perform her basic biological functions. But that isn't true. That's not even close to what the doctors told me. They performed lots of tests on me and said that my body is perfectly capable of having a baby with the right support. And yet you're still not pregnant after all this time. Sounds to me like the doctor was just too polite to tell you the truth like I just did. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about at all. Oh, come on. You really think I can't tell that you're jealous of me for being pregnant? It's obvious from these terrible photos you took. If you weren't so insecure about it, I'm sure that you could have managed to take actually decent photos. But I should have known better than to ask you anyways. And just what makes you think that I'm jealous of you just because you're pregnant? I don't have any kind of jealousy or resentment towards you at all. In fact, I'm happy that you're going to have a kid. Oh man, are you just trying to lie to me, or is this how you try to fool yourself as well? You can't have a kid, and you know it. Besides, you don't know that kids choose their parents. So if you're not pregnant by now, it's because no child wants to have you as their mother. Are you out of your mind? Now you're just being ridiculous. I don't care what someone like you has to say to me. Just retake the pictures of me, got it? And make sure to actually take them well this time. And of course, I won't be paying for this session either since we're family. I assume you don't have anything to say to that, yes?
Hey Joyce, I really am so sorry for the way that my sister was talking to you. I mean, to think that she would just ask you to take those photos and then refuse to pay you.
No, it's okay, Oliver. I actually had a lot of fun picking up a camera again. It had been so long that I didn't even mind not being paid. But I guess Beth had some worries about how they would play on her social media, and so that's why she had me redo them.
Well, I really don't think their poor performance online had to do with the quality of the photo. Did you know that when she posted them, she captioned them with, "As taken by my barren, childless sister-in-law"?
She did what? Did she really post those pictures with that caption?
Yeah, and that was all she had to say about you. She didn't say anything nice or gracious, just insulted you. So I don't think it was the photos prompting people to avoid interacting with those posts.
But who in the world would post something that makes themselves look that bad?
I know, right? Then she went on to say in another post that her whole coming back home to give birth was being ruined because you were there. She was writing about how jealous you're acting and how it's making things very difficult for her. I guess maybe she forgot that I also follow her and would see all these posts that she's making.
Wow, I can't believe that she would actually write all of that. It's so much.
I know. And I know that I was the one to ask you to deal with my sister for the time being, but at this rate, I think I'm the one that's going to snap. So, I'm sorry to spring this question on you so suddenly, but what do you think of moving out with me?
Oliver, are you sure about this? You really want to move out of your mom's house?
I just can't stand being in a house where you get treated this way. In fact, I was actually offered a job at my company's HQ.
You mean that they're finally giving you that promotion that you've had your eyes on for all this time?
Well, I guess I just say how hard you were trying when it came to having kids, so that helped push me to want to work harder. And I guess now that all that hard work is paying off, and that's why I was offered this new position.
Oliver, that's amazing! Congratulations, you made this happen!
Well, not only that, but there are quite a few transfers from my division to HQ, so I actually know quite a few people there already. In fact, one of the people over there now actually had a similar problem as us, and now he has 3 kids. He told me that if we move out there, he has a great doctor who he could introduce us to.
That would be amazing.
Apparently, the medical facilities out there are just leagues beyond what we could find in this state. So I think that's a lot of good reasons to move. But for now, let's keep you off the treatments so that when you start again, it'll be a fresh start in a new place.
That sounds perfect, Oliver. I'm so happy that this is happening.
Perfect. Well, let's try and get our bags packed and ready as soon as we can. I don't want to make you spend another second in this house.
Thank you so much, Oliver, but there are still some things that I need to wrap up here. So, you go ahead and start moving, and I'll catch up to you when I can.
Wait, what? What do you mean you still have things to wrap up here?
Well, we can't just leave your mom to take care of your sister when she's about to give birth. After all, your dad is practically bedridden, and your mom is always complaining about some part of her body hurting. So if you leave, then I'll be the only one here capable of giving your sister the help that she needs.
You mean the reason you want to stay behind is all to help my sister?
I know that I may have problems with the mother, but I can't just risk leaving the baby to your parents and sister until it's out safe and sound.
Joyce, I don't know what to say. That's just incredible.
But I'm really happy that you've got this promotion and that we're going to move out. But I just need to finish my duties around here first. Then we can move away and live together in a new place and start a new chapter of our lives together.
Yes, of course. Just please remember to take care of yourself and don't push yourself too hard.
Beth, why did you lock me out of the house? Let me back in right now. Oh, Just shut up already. Don't you know that you're not wanted around here? I know that you've already driven my brother to abandon you. So I don't know why you think that you can stay in this house with my parents and I. I'm just glad that my brother was smart enough to leave you before you had kids. But now there's no one here to protect you, and you don't have a place in this family anymore. And since you haven't had any kids either, there's no point in keeping you around at all. So why don't you just beat it? That's really the reason why you've locked me out of the house? Don't you realize that without your brother around, I'm all that you have, really? How are you going to have a safe home birth with just your parents around? Are you trying to tell me that you're staying at home for my sake? Well, if that's the case, then I don't need you. You probably just screw up or get me and my baby sick somehow. I don't want you anywhere near me when it's time for me to have my baby. Do you understand me? You think that I'm going to get you sick? How would that work? Oh, please, you don't think I don't know that this fertility problem of yours isn't just a symptom of something much bigger? I'm sure you have some kind of horrible disease. And it's just a matter of time until you spread it to other people in this house. Are you even reading what you're typing to me at this point? I know it's true because my mom told me so. She told me that we can't keep someone like you around any longer, so why don't you do us all a favor and go? Are you sure about this? Because if this is really what you want, I have no problem going. After all, Oliver only left because he was promoted to a new office, and so we're having to move. So after I leave, we are never coming back again. I'm really not sure what you're going to do since Oliver and I were paying for the utilities around here. What are you talking about? You mean my brother finally got promoted at work? That's right, and then he suggested that he and I move out of here, but I told him I would stay behind to make sure you had your child safely. But since you seem to think I'm some disease-ridden ball of germs, I'll just take my leave. Are you telling me that my brother didn't decide to finally leave you? That's right, your brother and I are still together and very much in love. But that can't be right. I didn't know that was what was going on. Well, it is. Good luck having the kid with just your parents there to help. And getting driven to your appointments and getting driven back. You know, all of the things that I was doing for you. You think my parents are really that useless? That shows what you know. They'll be able to help me out just fine. So go, leave, and never ever come back. Okay then, just don't say I didn't warn you. A few weeks after that, Beth sent me distressed messages begging for Oliver and I to go back and help her with her birth. Apparently she didn't know that both her parents had already given up their driver's licenses in their old age and were incapable of driving her where she needed to go. Last I heard, she had to take a taxi to drive her all the way to the hospital when she realized her parents were also completely unprepared for a home birth as well. She was really in bad shape by the time she reached the hospital. After she managed to safely have her child, the doctors scolded her on not having been more prepared to have her child. Beth tried calling her husband to come and pick her up from the hospital, but he wasn't answering his phone and had apparently fled the country. Now Beth lives at home with her parents, who take care of the baby as best they can, while Beth goes out and works to try and support all four of them. As for Oliver and I, we've been enjoying our new lives in a new city and blocked all of his family so we would never be dragged into their drama again. I met with the doctor recommended by Oliver's colleague and feel like the tension that may have kept me getting pregnant for so long has finally been relieved.